Hi everybody. I know it's been a while. I apologize. I haven't posted in I think around a month now. Um, Near the end of my pregnancy, I was just too lazy and tired, and I just couldn't find the time. I was just too pregnant to do anything. I was literally like a beached whale, and I kind of just laid around. Okay, but anyways, this video is gonna be my labor story, and you guys can meet Isla really quick. So continue watching for that. Okay, so for my labor story, I can't say that I really want to relive it, but I don't know. I guess it was it was a good experience. It's a good life experience. So, anyways, on September, okay, well, as you all know, like I'm sure most of you follow me on Instagram, I was trying everything to induce my labor because I had been um, told that she was going to come early, so I was like kind of in early labor for a good like month and a half, and so I was ready for her to come out. Um, I had tried everything. I tried literally everything in the book. If you guys want to know more about the things I tried, you can just like direct message me or something on Instagram. Um, uh, Sorry, that shadow was really distracting me. Anyways, um, okay, so for my labor story. On September 14th, I had finally decided that I was going to try the raspberry leaf tea. My mom had told me to avoid teas because when she went into labor with me, she had a really hard back labor and it was tea that brought that on. So we were kind of just fed up and we were both like, okay, let's get the tea. So we went to Superstore and they didn't have it. They had um, teas that had raspberry leaf in it, but we wanted like the actual raspberry leaf tea. So we went to the vitamin store, like the vitamin and mineral and supplement store. I don't know, the place where nobody really goes to unless you're like a super health freak. Anyways, we went there and they had the raspberry leaf tea. So that was a relief. And I went home and I had about 3 cups of raspberry leaf tea, like with a different tea bag in each cup. And that night I started having contractions that were about 7 minutes apart and lasted about 30 to 45 seconds. And they went away when I went to bed. And they weren't too bad. In the morning, I woke up at 4 o'clock 4 o'clock a.m. because I was having contractions that were bad enough to wake me up. At this point, they were totally like bearable and everything. I was like, okay. And then I timed them for about 3 hours, five, six, seven, yeah, about 3 hours. And I decided that they were still coming. They were coming every between 4 to 6 minutes, and they were lasting between 45 seconds and a minute. So I told my mom that I was having contractions, and I'm like, I think we're gonna need to go in today. So I went and I had a shower and I ate breakfast because they don't let you eat in the hospital when you're in labor. So that's just a heads up for everybody. If you guys are pregnant, make sure you eat because you won't be able to eat until your labor is done. And sometimes it takes a long time. Um, so, anyways, we ended up getting the kids to off to school, and my papa came over um, to get my little brother on the bus and all that, and we went to the hospital. And when we got there, I can't remember what time it was. It was probably around 9 when we got there, and my contractions were still coming every 5 minutes. Um, it's kind of like it kind of felt like it was like a pain that kind of started in my back. It was like a little bit of a pain in my back, and then it would kind of come to my front and like go down into my uterus, and then when it was down in my uterus, it would tighten, and then it would tighten all around into my back, and then the main part of the contraction would be in my back. By the time I got to the hospital, they told me I was only, I think it was 2 centimeters dilated, which is what I've kind of been for the last month and a half. So I was like, no way. And they said that I would need to go home if I didn't progress within 2 hours. So within those 2 hours, I was told to walk around. So I walked around the entire 2 hours, like hardcore. And I was having stitches in my side and I was having contractions. And it was just, in my mind, it was kind of just like, I want my baby girl. Like, I want her now. And then, so I walked around up and down the halls. Bless you. Oh, bless you. Bless you. Holy moly. Um, I walked up and down the halls with my mom a few times, and then, yeah, my grandma was just like painting in a corner, drawing in a corner, and my mom ended up going and taking a nap. So I just kept walking for like that last hour, and I went in because I was having like swelling in my fingers, and I was like, I don't know what the heck's going on. Like, I don't know if it's just because I'm walking so much, but I'm having serious swelling in my fingers. So they checked my pulse and my blood pressure, and my pulse was really high for some reason, but it wasn't anything to be concerned about really. And then the doctor came in and checked me, and this was at 12 o'clock, and he said, you're about 3 centimeters dilated now, which means that I did progress, not really, but like still it was happening. And so he phoned my doctor, and my doctor said that he wanted me to stay. So I got transferred into the actual labor and delivery room, not just like the room. I forget what it's called. I don't know, because like at my hospital, you go in and you have an assessment, the assessment room. You go into the assessment labor and delivery, and they either send you home or keep you. Anyways, they decided to keep me, and they sent me to the labor and delivery, to my room there, which was a lot more spacious, thank God. Uh, so when I was there, they put me on. I started to just, oh baby. Um, when I was put in the labor and delivery room, I decided like we were just kind of walking around, and I was like bouncing on the ball and stuff, and I don't know, like I wasn't really progressing fast enough because I think it was like I told them I wanted them to break my water because like I was progressing ridiculously slow. So they told me that they were gonna give me oxytocin to make my contractions come at like a faster pace and to help like and more intense. So they gave me oxytocin in an IV, and they came in and broke my waters. When they broke my waters, that was probably like that was an amazing feeling. Like just that, I don't know, just that release of pressure kind of thing. It didn't, the good feeling didn't last very long because the contractions started to come in like intense and hardcore. Um, oh, I know. She has a bellyache, so um, and then yeah, so they broke my water first, and then they put the oxytocin in through an IV, and after that, I started to get contractions so bad, like um. Oh, sorry guys, hang on. Sorry guys. Isla has a really sore tummy. Anyways, so yeah, after they broke my water and put me on oxytocin, shit got real. Like my contractions started getting so intense and so much closer together. Um, it kind of started to get honestly unbearable. And it like I don't know, it wasn't really like gradually getting unbearable. It kind of just like slapped me in the face. Here's the worst pain you've ever felt. Um, I was waiting until Isla's dad came to the hospital, and because I really needed his support, I needed him there. And it got so bad before he got there, like right before he got there. I think this was around like 4:30 ish, and I'm like, okay, like I need some medicine now. So like I need some painkiller. So I was like, okay, let's do the gas mask. So funny thing here is that they didn't have gas masks, and this is the most popular place in my city to deliver a baby. They didn't have gas masks because they sent in the parts for cleaning apparently, and they never got them back. that day anyway. So I didn't get to do that. So I was like, and at that point, literally, I was crying. I was shaking. I could feel a lot of pressure. I was like, okay, you need to get me the epidural. Like, you need to do that fast. Okay, sorry, pausing the video again. I figured this is a good time for you to meet Isla because she's awake and she's not screaming. Oh. Isla, look! Look! Hi, babies! Hi, babies! Look! What's that? That's you! That's you! And Mommy. Okay, so, and then, after I told him that I really needed the epidural, her dad, holy, she has her dad's hairline, like, hardcore, look at that. Anyways, her dad ended up there, and I was like, I know I told you I was doing it naturally, but, I can't do it, like, I need the epidural, and I grabbed his hand, and I was, like, squeezing his hand with every contraction, I was crying, and I was shaking, and it was just terrible, and, he's like, yeah, why wouldn't you get the pain medication? Anyways, they came in, and I'm not even kidding. The epidural, they don't warn you about this, but it hurts to get it in your back. Like I could feel the needle like pushing against my backbone, and it hurts. Anyways, I think they had to do it like twice because they didn't do it right the first time or something. But anyways, they put that in, and then I could kind of only feel it on my right side, and I was like, I can only feel numbness on my right. So then they gave me some more, and then I was complete, and they gave me extra because I was having back labor, not regular labor. And then when they put more in, I literally could not feel any part of my lower body at all, and it was the greatest feeling ever. The nurse would be like, "You're having a contraction." I'm like, "No way." Like this is the best thing ever. Anyways, so then my mom and my grandma went to go for dinner, and during this time I was supposed to be napping, but I couldn't nap because I mean, hello, I'm about to have my daughter in my arms. Like, how could you nap? And so me and her dad just talked that entire time for like I think about an hour, and then they put the catheter in during that time, and I felt them put the catheter in, and I was like, I don't think this is normal because I can't feel anything, but I can feel the catheter in. And I thought maybe it was because I have chronic bladder infections. And so she's like, yeah, that's probably all it is. And then, like, as time went by, it started to hurt. I'm like, the catheter is literally hurting me. And she's like, oh, no, 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 no. Like, I think it's normal. It's just because of your bladder infections. And I'm like, okay. And then suddenly I started to feel contractions again. And I started to feel my body. And so I told my nurse that, and my nurse is like, "Oh, well, it's okay. It's probably just because of your bladder infections." And I'm like, "Okay." And then I was like, "How am I supposed to know when I'm in labor if I can't fully feel everything when I'm in labor? When I need to push?" And she's like, "Well, you'll feel a lot of pressure and you'll be shaking." I'm like, "I've been feeling a ton of pressure and I've been shaking." And she's like, "Well, no, it's just your contractions." And then what happened was, it like with like I don't know, because like time went by really fast when I was in labor. It was weird, but I suddenly it seemed really fast to me. The epidural just wore out completely. I was again shaking and crying, except the pain was so much worse than before. I felt so much pressure. I just could not handle anything. I started to tell them I can't do this. Like something needs to happen. Something's wrong. I can't do this. They came in and they were going. My nurse went on her break. I had another nurse come in and say, "This epidural is doing nothing for you." I was like, "Yeah, no kidding. Like, do something, please." She's like, "We'll get you refilled on your epidural." So she went and she checked, and I was 10 centimeters dilated. She's like, "You're 10 centimeters dilated. You need to start pushing." And then just like that, I had to start pushing. I was like, "Are you kidding me? Like, I don't have any pain relief, nothing." And then before I knew it, there was literally like 6 doctors or nurses in there, and they were all like around me, and I'm like crying, and I'm like, "Please, I need pain medication. Please do something. Get the epidural going again." And they're like, "We can't. She's already down there. Like, you need to push." And it was so painful. The pushing was so painful. Um, and anyways, in the end, I I ended up throwing up from the pain, from the shock. Um, Shaking, crying, sweating. It was so hot in there. Um, but in the end, I got to hold my beautiful baby in my arms. And she was 7 pounds, 2 ounces. They never told me how long she was. I don't know why. She was 7 pounds, 2 ounces. She was born at 10:28 p.m. on September 15th, 2015. And she was the best thing that has ever happened to me. Um, 18 hours of labor and an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes of pushing. And it was all definitely worth it.